Hi guys, and welcome back to another World Cup prediction video. The group stages are finally over. They were very exhilarating. Nobody managed to win all three of their fixtures, so this World Cup is wide open. 16 teams through, so we're into the knockout stages. We did lose some big teams that probably would have expected to get through. Germany, Belgium and Uruguay being the three main ones I'm thinking of. But yeah, we're left with what we're left with. Some teams did exceptionally well to get through. Looking at the likes of South Korea, Japan, Morocco, they did very well. Australia as well, I really didn't expect that. So yeah, some big shocks in there for teams being out and teams being in. But it's great to see. This World Cup is very exciting, and I'm hoping the knockout stages are as exciting as the group stages were. This is the round of 16. Before we get into my predictions, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you're new, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any more World Cup content. Let's get into my predictions. And we start off with the Netherlands taking on USA. Now the Netherlands did okay to get this far. They haven't been too impressive. Their group was probably the easiest. They did finish top, however. They had to beat what was in front of them, and they did that, finishing top, setting up this fixture against the USA, who came second in England's group. Now, the USA have been good. They haven't lost yet. They got a point against England, beat Iran on the final day to go through. And USA have got some good players. I like their midfield and attack. I think their defence is a little light, especially at centre-back. And I think if the Netherlands, turn up in goal-scoring form, they should win this one. But the one problem with the Netherlands is that, other than Cody Gakpo, there's not really any goals in this team. He's got 3 already. He's scored in each game. He's been very impressive. But beyond that, I don't really see where the goals are going to come from. Memphis Depay has obviously always been so good for Netherlands. Goals, assists, just his contributions have always been so high. So I think he could be a key in this game, and obviously Gakpo as well. I'm going to go Netherlands to win 2-1. Up next, Argentina take on Australia. Now you'd expect Argentina to really breeze through this one. Australia are a bit of a shock to get out of their group, but I've got a feeling they might be a bit tighter than you think. Now Australia did pretty well in their group, won against Tunisia and against Denmark, only losing against France, which is understandable. Argentina, after that first game, the loss to Saudi Arabia, a bit shaky. They've proven that you can get at them, but they did then pick it up with 2 wins and, topping the group. Now, I've got a feeling this could be quite low scoring. Maybe a late goal nicks it. I'm going to go with Argentina. I think they will get through, but I don't think it'll be as straightforward as many others will. Argentina to win 1-0. France take on Poland next. Now this one is straightforward for me because France were very good in their first 2 games. They did then lose to Tunisia, but they rested a lot of players. They were already through. They didn't want to pick up any, big injuries. And to be fair, all 3 teams that were already through after 2 games went on to lose their 3rd match. France lost to Tunisia, Brazil lost to Cameroon, and Portugal lost to South Korea. So I don't think that's anything to go off. Poland were terrible against Argentina. They didn't look like they cared if they stayed in the competition at all. They were all over the place. They weren't getting into Argentina. They weren't attacking. They weren't doing anything. It was a very disappointing performance, and that's why I think that France will win this quite comfortably. Mbappe's been brilliant. Expect him to feature again. France to win 3-0. England up against Senegal next. Now England did well, they didn't lose a game, 7 points, After that draw against USA, we were all pretty worried. Didn't really create. I wouldn't mind drawing against someone and actually going for it and putting in a good performance, but we were very poor in that game against USA. However, we bounced back with a good 3-0 win against Wales, gave some players opportunities, Foden and Rashford both starting in attacking areas, both ended up with all 3 of the goals. So we've proven we've got good squad depth there. Senegal, they did well in their group to get through. It always looked like it was a standoff between them and Ecuador for that last spot, because looking at it from the start, Netherlands were always favourites, Qatar were always going to get nowhere. Now, Senegal are obviously missing Mane, and for this game they will be missing Idrissa Gana Gueye, which is good news for England because he's the experienced midfielder who's going to get stuck into challenges. He's smart, he's very intelligent on a football pitch. It's good that they're not going to have him, because I think we will then be able to control the midfield quite comfortably, have a lot of possession, create some chances. We do have to watch Senegal on the counter-attack because they've got some quick players. But just looking at their attacking players, 2 of their wingers, Ismaila Sarr and Iliman Ndiaye, are both Championship players. So, I'm a Birmingham City fan. The Championship is a brilliant league. But when you compare that quality against some of the top-end Premier League quality players England have, we should be walking out of this as winners. So I will go England to win 2-0. Interesting tie now as Japan face Croatia. Now for me, this is one of the really interesting round of 16 ties, because all the others are a big team that you'd expect to get through against a team that has got here, and it's good enough for them to get this far. But this one is strange because Croatia, last World Cup's runners-up, they were very, very good in that World Cup. They knocked England out in the semis, got to the final, lost to France. They got through a group with Belgium in it, and Belgium are out. So Croatia have done well to get through. Japan, I am so confused because they beat Germany brilliantly 2-1. And I was thinking, they've got Costa Rica up next. Costa Rica have just lost 7-0 to Spain. Japan are going to be on 6 points. They're going to be through. And then they went and lost against Costa Rica. At that point, I thought they'd bottled it because I expected Spain to beat Japan, Germany to beat Costa Rica, and Germany to be through. But no, Japan don't understand the script at all. They went and beat Spain as well as Germany. So Japan, in their group, beat Germany and Spain, but lost to Costa Rica. It's a strange World Cup. But Japan are through. They did brilliantly to get here. And I really, really like Japan in this. I don't know what it is about them. I think it's their whole, they tidy up after themselves. They leave the dressing room spotless. All that sort of stuff. It's just nice to see. They were the same at the last World Cup. And I'm hoping that they can get through here. Now, I'm going to go down the middle after 90 minutes, 1-1. Do I think penalties? Do I think someone will win it in extra time? I have got a feeling that Japan are going to get through in extra time. So 1-1 full time, but 2-1 to Japan in extra time. Next up, Brazil take on South Korea. This really is David versus Goliath, because Brazil, were through after 2 games, won both of them, and didn't concede a shot on target in the first 2 games, which I've heard that it's like the first team to do it in a really long time. Or maybe they were the first team to do that ever, I'm not sure. But that is some good going, they just don't give the opposition a chance. They did then rest all their main players really against Cameroon. Cameroon won and had quite a few shots on target, but again, Brazil's main squad doesn't give you a chance. South Korea had a very interesting group stage. They drew with Uruguay and then lost to Ghana. So you kind of thought they were dead and buried when they had to face Portugal next. However, they won it 2-1. They got through. Uruguay were playing Ghana at the time. Uruguay were 2-0 up. So Ghana were out. All Ghana needed was a point. Ghana were out. Uruguay were 2-0 up and loving it. All of a sudden, news comes in. 90th minute goal, winner for South Korea. And Luis Suarez was in tears. Ghana went down, but they dragged Uruguay down with them. So I kind of think that's at least a bit of revenge for what happened back in 2010. So although I'm sad to see Ghana out, it was good that they managed to get a little bit of a little something on Uruguay and mainly Luis Suarez. But South Korea pulled it off. They got through. Hwang Hee-chan with a last minute winner against Portugal. A much changed Portugal as well, but brilliant result for South Korea. Got through the group when they didn't look capable of it after 2 fixtures. And here they are with another mountain to climb. Will they be able to climb it? I'm not so sure. Now, I said that Brazil's main side does not give you a chance, and I'm going to stick with that. I'm going to go Brazil to win 2-0. Morocco up against Spain. And Morocco have been one of the main success stories of this World Cup, as they were in a tough group: Belgium, Croatia, Canada. I had Morocco bottom. They actually finished top. 2 wins, including a victory over Belgium and a draw, saw them top with 7 points, not lost yet. They have been very, very good. Spain won their first game 7-0, drew with Germany, lost to Japan. So it's started to go downhill for Spain, but they did manage to get through on goal difference because of that massive win over Costa Rica. If it wasn't for that, Germany would probably be through by now. But, you know, this is a tough game because Morocco have been so good. Spain have just sort of went downhill every game. I've kind of got a feeling Morocco could nick some out of this. I'm going to go down the middle, 1-1. Extra time, still 1-1. Penalties, Morocco to win. And finally, Portugal against Switzerland. Now, Portugal have been good. Again, one of only 3 sides to get through after 2 games, meaning they did then lose the last game against South Korea, but it didn't matter. They were through, they were top. They are up against an interesting Switzerland side. They've still got Xherdan Shaqiri in there, who managed to score against Serbia. Briel Mbolo I've always liked him in these competitions. He's always seemed to be a handful up front. They've got Granit Xhaka in midfield. Like Fabian Schär at the back as well, who's been brilliant for Newcastle this season. With Akanji, who's been brilliant for Man City. Sommer in goal. The spine of this team is very, very good. And I think Switzerland could have went a long way if it wasn't for this tie. But the more I speak about it, the more I think Switzerland could pull off a bit of a shock. However, I'm going to go with what I initially thought, which is that Portugal are a very good side. They've got quite good depth as well. But Bruno Fernandes has had a very good tournament so far. I've just got that feeling Portugal are going to edge it. But I wouldn't be shocked if Switzerland maybe took them to extra time or penalties and got through. You know, they did it to France in the Euros. Why can't they do it to this Portugal side? I'm going to go Portugal to win 2-1. So, those are my predictions for the World Cup round of 16. Let me know down in the comments what your predictions are. Make sure to like, subscribe and hit that notification bell. Come on, England.